All right, guys, we gotta be smarter about what we bite on, okay? I want everyone to go outside. We're gonna run Red Rover on 3.
What about you, Tony?
I'm gonna run around in circles, flat my arms, and make engine noises like this.
When it comes to playing, we kids are the pros.
We're eating right, too.
We fuel up.
To play 60!
Your school doesn't have a program? Be a leader. Start one.
Click today and join the movement.
Welcome to This Week with Sheriff Dave Phalen, a weekly program here on LSN Television, Channel 9, Time Warner, and also 90.9 WFCO Radio. Each and every week we have guests from within the Fairfield County Sheriff's Office, and this week's special guest, Loretta Phalen. Good to see you, as always.
Good to see you.
And she's a special guest of mine.
I hope so.
I very special. And we talk a lot about Grace Haven, but before we get to that, just past Christmas, any special Christmas memories you have in years past, or traditions?
Well, you know, having the kids little, that's always a fun thing.
Right.
Our kids are all grown up now, and the grandchildren are getting grown up, but Christmas really is for kids, and so just having the kids opening the presents and spending the day together, and you know, that's always a great memory for me.
And those kind of things. So, any New Year's resolutions?
I always have the same New Year's resolution. Eat better, be healthy.
Exercise.
Yeah, and of course get closer to the Lord Jesus. That's always my New Year's resolution.
That would be your number one.
Yeah.
Your number one. Well, we want to talk a little bit today about Grace Haven Place. And for our viewers and listeners that may not know what Grace Haven is, why don't you just tell us a little bit about that ministry, how it started?
Okay. Well, Grace Haven is a ministry from my heart. I felt a direct calling to go and minister to the women in jail, and that's what we did. And from that, we found that there might be some ladies who really want to change their life and need a safe place to do that. So that's how Grace Haven started.
And you know, it's been surprising to me that when I'm finished 11 years as sheriff, going into my 12th year. Mm-hmm. And when I became sheriff, we would have about 100 prisoners in the Fairfield County Jail. Out of that number, probably 8 to about 12 would be females. And today we have 50, 60 females. We have over 250, 260 prisoners. So we've seen a tremendous increase in the jail population, and certainly with the females.
Yes. We have our weekly Bible studies. We started out with 15 to 20, and now we have 40 to 50 every Thursday when we go and minister.
So out of the Bible studies, is this primarily where the girls come from out of jail, or do they come from other areas of the community?
Primarily, that's where they come from. I think that some of the other probation officers and people like that tell individuals that, you know, this is an opportunity. It is a ministry, so they are not ordered there ever. It's always a choice. So, but that's how we hear about our ladies.
And how many years have you been?
We're starting our 5th year as Grace Haven Place.
Okay.
We've been at the jail 8 or 9 years. So, yeah.
So when these girls enter Grace Haven, what kind of rules do they have? What type of things are they involved in typically once they get into Grace Haven?
Well, Grace Haven is primarily about accountability. It's so we give them accountability. They have rules and regulations. They have a 30-day trial period where they have some stricter enforcement, curfews, and things like that. They call in every day for a random drug testing. So, you know, try to prevent relapse and the use of drugs. Of course, that's what it's all about.
Right.
And they sign in, they sign out, and they have to be in some sort of recovery program or counseling. We are fortunate right now to have Wellspring Counseling, an individual from there volunteering her time, and so we're able to offer a little counseling through the ministry. We also do an online recovery program called Setting Captives Free. The girls are responsible to do that every day. They need to attend church, weekly Bible study, and daily devotions. So that's kind of our framework.
When you think back on the last 4 years of Grace Haven Place, is there any, I guess, first of all, how many girls have gone through?
Well, we've had 50 girls,
50 girls through? Wow.
that have come through, and ages from 18 to 60. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
I guess I didn't know you had
Yeah,
something
mostly
60.
it's 18 to 32, something like that.
And you can have 4 women there at a time?
4 women at a time. There is a house mother that lives there, and of course it's all volunteer. Everyone that is involved in the ministry is volunteer, except for one individual who's paid through Senior Services, because we are a nonprofit. So it's we try to cover the house as much as possible with volunteers, and there's a process the volunteers go through, interview and references and things like that. But it's we touch everybody that comes through, and that's at the beginning I thought, that we were really gonna. We were going to fix them. It's
Right.
so silly, but it's what the individual makes it. It's, we have those that go on and do wonderfully. We also have those that relapse and end up back in jail. Sometimes they come back to Grace Haven.
Right.
So it's
And I bet
a process.
and you mentioned, I don't know, a few months ago that a number of the girls at one of your jail Bible studies, a few of them had been at Grace Haven before.
Yes.
That's got to be tough.
It is not an easy ministry. Of course, what ministry is.
Right.
But I know that God is in control, and that my job is to spread His word to those who haven't heard it or who are hurting people. And whatever they do with it is up to them.
We often, I know you put a lot of hours in because I'm your husband, so you put a lot of hours in, get a lot of late night calls.
Yes, yes, you know.
Do a lot of intervention sometimes when girls are out and about, and so as you go forward with Grace Haven, and you move forward, what do you see for the future? And I know that's a tough question.
It is, and well, at this point this year, I was no longer able to work outside of doing the ministry, and thank you for giving me that opportunity.
Because you taught, and by the way, for our viewers and listeners, this program is actually produced at Fairfield Christian Church with the media students, media class. The students are involved in it, and they do a terrific job. And I do appreciate them putting this program together. J.T. Burcham and all the gang here, they do a terrific job. And we wouldn't have this on television if it wasn't for Fairfield Christian Academy being able to produce the program.
Right.
But prior to Grace Haven, you're an educator. You taught here, right?
Right. I'm an educator, and that's what my training is. Of course, it comes right in handy with what I'm doing. So,
right.
But this year's the first year I haven't taught either part-time or full-time. I'm subbing this year, and so I do miss that. I miss the kids, but I do have a passion for these hurting women, and I know you do too. For our
what's a typical day at Grace Haven for a girl once she gets there?
Well, a typical day is they need to be out of bed at 9 o'clock, which is something I work on constantly.
Right.
And they have meetings, and they see their probation officers, they have classes and things to do. Eventually, the goal is to get a job and to get out on your own. So if they're not busy with something else, they should be looking for jobs and doing things like that. So
Now, we're going to have you back next week, but so make sure we get this in this week also. You're going to have a fundraiser
Yes.
coming up. So tell us a little bit about the fundraiser.
well, because Grace Haven is funded mostly by private donations, we do have to have fundraisers, and we have a yearly fundraiser, and an area church usually volunteers to have it at their church. And so this year it's January 28th. And that's a Saturday night from 6 to 8. And this year it's at the River Valley Life Center on Coompath Road. Most people know that as the Barn.
Okay.
Pastor Paul Bishop is the pastor there, and they help a lot with Grace Haven, and some of their members are volunteers. So we're having it there. It's a spaghetti cook-off, but you don't have to cook spaghetti to come. It's a spaghetti dinner, $8 for a person and $15 for a family. And it's just fun. It's a silent auction, and we of course take donations for the silent auction too. So it's going to be a great time.
If someone wants a ticket, how do they go about getting
Well,
one?
you can look on my website. It's www.gracehavenfairfield.com, or you can call my cell phone number. I give it out everywhere. It's 740-808-6255. 740-808-6255.
Good. We have with us this day on 90.9 FM WFCO, and also on LSN Television Channel 9 Time Warner, Loretta Phalen, the administrator of Grace Haven Place right here in Lancaster. How did you, if we go back a little bit in time, how did you kind of get the idea of having a place like Grace Haven? How was that birthed?
Well, I was at Sheriff's Convention with you, as you know, and I just really felt a calling to go into the jail. And at that point, and then once in the jail, just the women that were there, there was a specific young woman that was pregnant at the time and was the age of our daughter. And she wanted to leave jail and get better, and she had nowhere to go. So I know I came home to you and said, I need to bring her home. And you said, I can't do that. So, so anyway, it was a long process, but God directed it, and He's provided. It's His ministry.
If someone would want to get involved, either through a charitable giving or through a volunteer basis, how would they do that?
Well, contact me. Again, on the website, you can contact me at gracehavenfairfield.com. I'm also on Facebook. And also my phone number, 740-808-6255.
So if they want to get involved, they can call you. And lots of areas of volunteerism there.
Right. We need a lot of people to cover the house. There is a house mom there, but she works full-time. And there's lots to be done, and keeps me busy.
What would a volunteer do? What would be some of their duties and responsibilities?
Well, the volunteers just kind of go and they're a presence in the house. They can lead Bible studies. They give rides, encouragement, friendship, and you've got to remember, you're planting seeds as a volunteer. You may not always see, there may be disappointments. You may not always see the end result.
And again, the telephone number and the website?
740-808-6255. And the website is gracehavenfairfield.com.
We're going to have Loretta Phalen back next week to talk a little bit about some stories, some specific stories about some of the girls that she's come across during the last 4+ years at Grace Haven Place. The clock on the wall says we're just about out of time. And so we do appreciate each and every one of you listening and part of our viewing audience. And again, the folks at 90.9 FM, WFCO, and also Time Warner Channel 9 right here in Lancaster. Until next week, same time, same place, this is yours truly, Sheriff Dave Phalen. God bless, and we'll see you right here next week.
for your arrest.
Back door! Back door!
Deputy Thompson has now survived his rookie year.
Guess that means you can start using real bullets now.
When you get married, have some kids, you're gonna figure out real quick how much you don't know.
You missed Emily's piano recital.
Can I talk to you?
Can I suggest that you spend a little more time with him?
All he wants to do is play video games and go run 5 miles.
What are you doing home?
They let me go.
Do you really feel like it messed up your childhood not having a dad?
More than you know.
Adam, I need you to come with me right now.
Man, if it wasn't for my family, I'd be in a tailspin right now.
You do heal, but you're never the same.
I want to know what God expects of me.
Me down the road.
I've been doing about half of what I should have been doing as a dad.
You're being too hard on yourself.
Now I am left
Revolution?
alone.
Yeah, you've been a good enough father.
I don't want to be a good enough father.
Can I say this too?
Trying to find my
I don't feel like I started well. I want to finish well.
If you're gonna do this, then do it right. Something like this needs ceremony.
I feel like a rich man. As your father, I want the very best for you. I promise to take care of you.
So where are you, men of courage? I believe every father should step up and answer the call. And to say, I will.